And we begin with what comes next for the House after the historic ouster of Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Just moments ago, House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan confirmed that he is now running to succeed Kevin McCarthy as Speaker. He's the first person to announce his candidacy. This comes one day after 8 House Republicans joined with Democrats to remove McCarthy from his post. It's the first time in American history a Speaker has been removed in such a manner. NBC News caught up with McCarthy this morning as he arrived at the Capitol just moments ago.
Mr. McCarthy, how are you feeling this morning?
Right. Well, one of McCarthy's top allies, North Carolina Congressman Patrick McHenry, is stepping in as temporary Speaker while Republicans search for a successor. Republicans say there will be a Speaker candidate forum next Tuesday, followed by an election on Wednesday to choose who the party will put forward as Speaker on the House floor. After that happens, the full House will vote for a new Speaker. With us now to take a closer look at all of this, NBC News chief political analyst Chuck Todd, NBC News Capitol Hill correspondent Ali Vitale, and Jeff Bennett, co-anchor of the PBS NewsHour and an MSNBC political contributor. So, Ali, who are some of the other people who could potentially be in the running for Kevin McCarthy's old job?
You're right, Jose, to say that Congressman Jim Jordan, the chairman of the Judiciary Committee, is the first person to officially publicly put his name in the ring. But my colleague Scott Wong and I heard as early as last night that the number 2 House Republican, Steve Scalise, the person who many believe to be next in line for this job, has also been making calls to lawmakers, trying to shore up support and making some initial inquiries to see what his whip count or count of Republicans that would support him might look like. But those are not the only names that we're looking at. Of course, you see on the other side of the screen some of the other people who will be paying close attention to. People like Congressman Tom Emmer, who is also within former Speaker McCarthy's current leadership apparatus. Congressman Garrett Graves, who is a close ally of the former speakers. Jim Jordan there, of course. Tom Cole, who is a veteran lawmaker here on the Hill and who, during the multiple overtures that people were making of a potential to motion to vacate, many times Cole's name was mentioned as a potential interim speaker, and he said he didn't have interest in that job. Of course, Jim Jordan said the same thing until McCarthy himself was vacated. We'll see if Cole's opinion on that has changed at all. And then, of course, Kevin Hern, the head of the Republican Study Committee, is also a name that we've been hearing a lot from our sources. And important to point out that the other name on the screen there is the current Speaker, Patrick McHenry, who, of course, was put there by a list that McCarthy had to submit to the parliamentarian. He is a close ally of the former speakers. That list is meant to show who McCarthy trusted. And, of course, McHenry is top of that list, having been with him through multiple rounds of critical negotiations throughout McCarthy's short speakership. So that list is coming together. Calls are starting to be made. In theory, we'll start seeing the field take shape by early next week. And look, the reason I say in theory, Jose, is because the technical word for what we've seen the last few days from the House is utter bonkers chaos. That may continue into next week as they try to figure out a path forward. I don't expect this to be a seamless process.